What is up guys, Wraec is here with a new video, and today with another guide for the Fairy Sonata event. Today we are going to do the adventure number 4 that was unlocked today together. I'm going to give you some pointers for the fights. I'm going to show you the teams that I'm going to use. We already did a video about the best teams. This is of course still up to date and you can still use it. But I thought, okay, for this one I want to show you some slight adjustments that I made to every single team for all of the fights. And so we're basically going to do a live clear of this. And before we get into it, of course, we have to take a little bit of a look at our stats. The first thing we want to do is collect our AFK loot. I've already done that before, but you can store quite a lot in here. Max storage is 10 days, so you can probably still get the ones from the beginning of the event. It's kind of insane. The adventure number 4 is not special in any way, really. We have all of those stages here. The scaling of the stats is still pretty insane. And then in 2 days and 7 hours, we're going to unlock adventure 5. And I think there are 6 and 7 too. So still a lot of stages that we're going to clear. And if you guys like this video and if you guys enjoy the clears or if those were helpful, then please tell me down in the comments. Then I will make a video for 5, 6 and 7 as well. So next thing we want to do before we actually clear any stages, we want to head to the upgrade tab where we find this. This is where you use your limited dimensional crystals. If you haven't done so already, there might be one reason why this is difficult. And this also unlocks buffs for you, which we're going to go for in a second. For now, let's spend our 6,389 limited dimensional crystals here. We are going to mainly go for attack. I thought this helps the most. We unlock the buffs through that. So probably the first level 4 buff that I got. Okay, that's kind of insane. Every time you get those again, it levels up 1 level. So that is pretty good. And then let's maybe just get an upgrade on every single one here. You have to keep them with a 10 level distance. That is the maximum that is possible. So right now I couldn't upgrade attack any higher. It says that must be within 10 levels of each other, and of course the distance between fist def and attack at the moment is 10. So let's take a look at our buffs. The second buff level here is already unlocked. We got Guild Bond over here, and the next one will be unlocked on 5.3. For now it says level 1 Furious Extraction. Is that incorrect? Okay, we have to re-equip it. I didn't know that. So I learned something in this video as well. If you get the next level, you have to re-equip it. Otherwise, we keep it at level 1. That is, of course, not what we want. I kept this one for a little bit of extra life drain. You can, of course, go for the higher level ones as well. Increased allied heroes damage dealt by 20%. You reduce their damage taken by 60 if only one hero remains in the battle. Is not what we want to use. We actually are going to go for Frosty Cage, I believe. Is going to be the best. We could go Control Tornado on this one, but I just like to have a little bit of recovery, so this is what I usually do, go for that, just Frosty Cage and that. Or we could also go Corroding Storm, which is also fine. It's also a little bit of extra damage that we can go for. So Frosty Cage is going to be the choice. Again, if you didn't see the effect, that was kind of confusing your eye, okay. If you didn't see the effect, freezes one non-summoned enemy with the highest cumulative damage dealt for 5 seconds, 10 seconds into the battle. So pretty powerful CC effect. With that, we're going to go into the first fight. Let's start off. Okay, not too special here. We do have the clams. I mean, those aren't really that insane. They are a little bit weird. Should be a pretty easy to clear CC stage overall. Let's just start off with that. Probably not going to go with the Chimera comp. Let's swap that up pretty quick. Okay, this is probably what I want to do. Took the Pharamore in there, took the Iron, maybe even put the buff on the Pharamore, on the Siren here. Siren for a little bit, just extra CC. We have the Iron in the Twin Bond. If you don't have twins, just use Roan instead. If you don't have Siren, honestly, anything that deals CC on damage, probably an R and a Tazi would be fine, maybe even a Bonnie, or you can go for a healer like Smokey. That should work as well. Nothing here is immune to CC, so let's just start off with the first fight. We have big damage coming from the Pharamore in just about a second. That should probably clear this entire stage, and we keep the enemies very, very closely grouped together. Clearing here way before we even had to, so that worked out very, very well. Biggest damage here from the Siren, of course, Crown Siren, very, very nice. But one thing to note for this, and I always get the question in the comments, how should I clear this? Well, maybe we take a little bit of a detour for that. You have the upgrade to Supreme Plus, so all you really need to get is one singular copies of the hero that I use. So you don't need the Supreme Siren, you don't need the Supreme Iron. All you have to do is, if you have a few epic recruitments, check out which heroes you need, maybe set an iron in there, maybe set a siren or something in there, and then you can get one single copy of those. Especially easy with the A tier heroes that you can best get from all your recruitment. You just go to the wish list, and if you've set your Pharamore in there and your Arden, you can probably obtain a copy of those fairly easily and get those. And if you don't have any recruits, keep in mind many quests offer you recruits, so that is something you can do as well. For example, Dearest Child quest that I myself still have to clear at the end of this season's story, that is still something where you can get recruits, or you can go through events. That is another option, of course. And also, I mean, you got a copy of Lucy as well from the Fairy Sonata event, so that is something you can use as well. Lucy is a viable choice for those fights. So let's go on with 4-2. We have the snowmans here. Those have rather annoying CC. Attacking enemy as are turned into snowmen, so I hope this doesn't really disturb us. The rest of those don't really seem too bothersome. Maybe just for this one, let's swap out our twins, just so you see that those aren't necessarily a requirement. Oh, I even like the idea of using Hugin here, but I think we're just going to go with the Roan. Do we keep him on the right side, or do I go for the left side? Probably doesn't matter. Let's see. Pretty quick CC. Oh yeah, those are immobile. Okay, that is interesting. I kind of forgot about that. Should still work, I reckon. Our Pharamore is now a snowman. That is not good. No heal on that guy. Yeah, that is not optimal. But it's kind of interesting. Our Pharamore is a snowman, and nonetheless, our area of effect there still stays. So this team probably not very optimal for this. Yeah, I really didn't keep in mind that these snowmans wouldn't move. So what I would do on something like this is probably rather go for a comp with Odie then. That would probably be better on this. Can we retry the same stage again? Sadly not. Sadly not. Then I just showed on the next stage what I would have used for this stage. Oh, this guy is immune. This guy is immune. Takes less damage, becomes unaffected. This guy is CC immune. So we can probably even use that here, even though against the spiders CC is so nice. Against the spiders it is so nice. I'll be honest. So let me quickly set this up. Okay, this is just a very basic setup for like an OD comp. We have Coco in here, we have Smokey in here, we use Fresto in the front. If you don't have Fresto, using another tank is probably completely fine. You can, for example, just go for Antandra. That is another option here. We have one more hero slot that remains, and for this we have different options. I usually like to go with Roan. The problem with this is with one CC immune enemy, and then we have enemies that are spawning a ton of other enemies, which are rather annoying. So Siren is an option for us to do this, and also would allow us to pull all the enemies together in case they don't run to him, and well, aside from this guy, of course. So this is what I'm going to go with for the moment. And we can see those guys spawn a little bit. Got the nice ult animation. And we want to manually cast the Siren ult. If you don't know how to manually cast ults, maybe check out my recent video. That looks very, very nice. OD ult we can also manually cast one time on the mage guy, because that guy is annoying. But we saw the Frosty Cage, by the way, there, which I think is really, really cool that they made an effect for this. Okay, now we can just auto cast, probably we will be fine. So this same team would have probably been a whole lot better on the other fight as well. Targeting the snowmans first with the OD, this should have worked fairly well. Was a little bit of a fluke that we cleared the other one there. Okay, for this one, rather annoying enemy there with the OD, rather annoying enemy there with the Ego. We have to see. Manual targeting with the OD, I would probably start off with our OD taking out their OD, and then maybe the Ego. That is probably what I would go for. Let's just continue with this team. We are going to just target their OD first. Yeah, and we have enough attack. We have enough attack. That is another thing that we kind of have to worry about. Where is the Igor? There is the Igor. We don't want this guy within our defense realm. No idea where he actually went. Oh, over there. Okay. Quick hit there on the Kruger. That of course ran past our Frestos, or was pulled past our Frestos. And now we go with a pretty quick finish. Big shields from the Coco. Which is really, really nice. And now we even have the extra damage from the OD, giving us more than enough damage to actually clear this. And yeah, very, very nice. I like this. Next stage, let's take a look. Rather annoying. We have the tornadoes here. Those are really, really annoying. Take reduced magical damage. We have this knockback effect from them. Take 70% less magic damage. Okay, we have on-death effects. Ooh, we have quite a lot of incoming damage. Not really a whole lot of perspective to clear this with CC, but honestly, pretty good chances to go for. I think the Grave guy did a lot of damage, if I remember correctly. So let's go with like a quick Odie hit there. Odie, by the way, perfectly great hero for this. A little bit underestimated, because many people forget you have the Mythic Plus. You have the Mythic Plus on this guy, so he's perfectly usable even if you only have a single copy. And you also get him at 8 here, so you just need a single copy and you have the Supreme Odie in this game mode, which is absolutely great. Got the knockdown there, Smokey interrupted with 50 seconds left on the time and incoming true damage from the Frestos. We should be in a pretty good position here. Yeah, still surprising damage that the Odie took there. Let's take a look. The Whirlwinds did end up doing the most damage, did end up taking the most damage to die because, well, 70% less damage from magic attacks. Interesting. Didn't even see that, but this guy is Supreme while this guy is only Mythic, so also another difference there. Those Gasgrave Walkers, I don't know if he just... I think he would probably have outdamaged the rest of those guys if we kept him alive. And another thing maybe to note, well, we're just in the realm of tips and tricks. You have this shop here. Not only the season store where you can get some heroes. I mean, right here you can obtain yourself a Bonnie, which would be fairly nice for this. You can get a Sonya, which is pretty cool. Lily May at a single copy. Guild store, if you are in there, I mean, includes all the those heroes. And then we have Arena store. Probably the best heroes here. Roan is very, very nice if you get a single copy of him. Hewen is pretty nice for this. And then we are in the Dream store. And in the Dream store, you can just buy a copy of Odie. You can buy a copy of Odie, which will immediately give him to you at Supreme for this game mode. So this is pretty nice. There are some other interesting heroes as well for this. I mean, you could go Leica probably. Other than that, I don't know about the A tiers here. We need more of the newer ones, yeah, for sure. So that just a little bit of a side note. Those shops exist, and they are very, very powerful to give you heroes for this. Okay, we're going to do 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 probably in a row now before we get into the challenge stages, so I can do some timestamps down below. What do we have here? I think for this one I want to go back to CC, so I set our first CC team up again. Let's see how well this works. Yeah, we have pretty good CC overall there. I just want the Pharamore damage. Also for the Aqua Souls, they have some DR, they have some life recovery, and with that we pretty quickly take them out. We didn't win the fight yet because, well, there are some spawns that they do. And yeah, very, very easy to clear with our CC comp. So that works out really well. Keep in mind Pharamore also an A tier, so you can get massive damage again from a single copy. For this, big healers on the board. Every time there are big healers, I want to go with Control and with Pharamore first. Because Pharamore blocks all heal, so that is really, really nice. In this form we have the twin version of this team. We have the Siren Pull, which pretty much comes wonderfully in line with the Pharamore ult. And we can see, bam! Okay, absolutely monstrous to do this. Loading there a little bit. And the combo of those two, yeah, insane. So this stage, wonderfully clearable with that. Honestly, Bandit Archer Captains, those guys are annoying. We just go again. Some pretty quick clears coming up here. I doubt those guys are going to do anything against this team. There's really only some difficult stages where we have to look and have to switch up between those two teams, and then it should work for all of you. Just keep in mind you want to do your upgrades. That is really, really important, and then you are probably in a good space. We get a little bit of extra materials. What did they say here? Recommended ability level 150. What do we have? We have level 78. Interesting. 115 is the recommended one. 115, guys. So we are 40 below. That must be a stage. We have Teleport here, which is really annoying. We have Tazi here, which is also really annoying because we can't really burst through that very well. Nara, rarely seen in an enemy stage, I'll be honest. Where do you go? You go on our twins. I don't like that. I'd rather have the Nara pull on her because that's like 2 meters of movement, and have the Siren be a sacrifice for Sylvina. You can see like the Sylvina mark, the little dagger here. That is because Sylvina is going to teleport behind him and is going to stun him. What we also can do for this is we could use Olmus for that. Which is probably better if I'm honest. Using Olmus for that. Yeah, just Olmus being attacked. Even if he is like shot down with that, it would just go to the back. And Iron is probably fine going forward. A little bit afraid of the Tazi. Tazi reviving. With Oli in the team, we would be safe here 100%, I think. Oli, I would just go in order, take them out, but we are fairly good here. Siren ult coming in with the finisher, that is going to go very well. We're just going to wait for the Tazi revive. Tazi can do anything because our Frosty cage is up. We're going for the next CC, and that is the takeout. Okay, that worked very smoothly. I think our strategy was really on point. I just want to watch it one more time and take a look at that Sylvina. Okay, yeah, she doesn't teleport anymore. Nice. Okay, I wasn't sure about that. Because at the beginning of the game, it was actually the case that Sylvina would teleport through the Iron ult and actually ignore it. And now I think they fixed that in one of the season patches where she's now actually stunned and doesn't teleport. Okay, that's very interesting. Close. That was 4.1 to 4.10. Now we're going to do the challenge stage, the resource stage. Maybe one look at that. Or we have to clear that too, I guess. That is the normal one, right? Yeah, that is the normal one. Okay, then we have like a Plague Rot Slime. We have some of the normal enemies. Okay, that should not be a problem. We can go in there with the same CC team that we did before. Without any further adjustments. Maybe we want to swap that over again, actually. Because that is actually better positioning. The good thing is we get the buff on our Siren. So that is a little bit nicer, even though we don't really need it. I mean, we are fine here. Big damage coming in. And I mean, the thing is, if the team that I use, if you can copy that and you have it at Supreme or something, and it doesn't work out for you, then you can always wait a few days. Get yourself a few more upgrades, and you will be fine. And you will be fine. I mean, of course, the hero level plays a role here, and is rather important. You are immune to physical damage, and I will show you how futile that is. Enemies attack speed increased by 60. Yeah, that doesn't matter very much when you are completely CC'd. You are unaffected, but you are on the low stage, so you don't matter. And yeah, that was a quick clear. Okay. Then we're just going to go encounter for 1 is the quest. Recruit a Noble Tavern, you don't need the guide for that. Lucy Affinity increase we already did. And then we got for challenge for 2. Again, and with the enemy attack speed. Oof. 4 of those are not CC immune. The Odie is. The Odie might be finished through Siren though. I mean, if you want to be completely safe, you could go with the Odie comp for this. Odie comp. Just immediately target the Sessia is probably the better way to clear this, honestly. CC would work against it. It wouldn't work necessarily against the Odie. Let's use the formation that we used before. Probably this time. I'm thinking about whether we go Roan on this. Just for a little bit faster clear. Might actually be an option. Yeah, let's go Roan this time. Let's go Roan. Where's my Roan? I own a Roan. Supreme Roan. Supreme plus Roan there. And I think we're just going to go in. Double speed. Okay, we've missed the first ult. That is actually a bit of a fail. I want to rectify that. You kind of want to remove the cogwheel here immediately so that you can target a priority hero. In this situation, I would probably want to take out the Sessia. So I make sure of that. Targeting her, and then I want to go Igor. The Corrin can be annoying. But Igor jumping directly to us and then mass casting ults and getting tons of gravestones. Now I can't actually see him. That is annoying. There he was. I hope that I got him. That is Igor that I'm now hitting, right? Yeah, you can see he has the cage around him because he does the most damage. It's insane. People underestimate this guy. And for the rest, I mean, I just let them cast. I just let them cast and then probably, yeah, Corrin dealing some big damage, but he's going to be taken out. Wraec could do big damage, but I think alone they are just not strong enough. To actually get through our team. We have the energy recovery here on the Odie, finishing off the Olmus, finishing off the Wraec. Yeah, that is a pretty safe clear that we got right there with this, so pretty happy with that. You can see Wraec survived the longest, but also did a ton of damage. And then we have challenge 4-3, which, I mean, it's interesting. It's interesting to me kind of that they said here, oh, next one is recommendability level 115, but usually don't show you the recommendability level. We have a Sabina once again for the teleport. The Satrana could potentially become immune. The Ludovic will be CC immune. Unaffected. Ludovic positioning is great on this one though. That's funny, because it doesn't really matter that he is CC immune. Will like this, because he will stand in the middle where Iron is going to cast his ult, so all enemies are going to be pulled towards him. Okay, actually feeling very confident with this team. I used Bonnie this time. It's not like we necessarily need it, but it's pretty cool. By the way, I bought the Cessia skin. It's really nice. She could also do... I mean, it's not the best way to clear it, but come on. She should use Bonnie, but but we will use the Cessia this time. Just for fun. Let's pull them together. And we get to see the Cessia skin, which has special animations, by the way, if you don't know. It's a little bit darker. Faramore here being the star, though. Do we get to see Cessia ult animation? I don't know if she actually has one. We do. Very, very nice. With the dark beast there. Pretty cool. Not in terms of being a hero. You should use Bonnie instead if you have her. Okay, we did it with Cessia this time. And those were actually all of these stages. It's just now that this last adventure that we have to clear, which we can do. We can just do 10 bomb, I reckon. Come on. Maybe for Natsu. That is a very nice 10 bomb. We will do that for this video. Maybe we get another copy of this guy. Not that I necessarily need him, but it would be cool. Come on. Are we lucky? There we go. I don't know if it actually was pity timer. You guys know that better than me now. But yeah, that's cool. Okay, nice. So we have that complete as well, which brings us to this entire stage being completed. And well, that is really it for this video. Of course, as always, huge shout out to Loot Bar, where you can get very, very cheap Dragon Crystals for your account. They offer direct top-up and lock-in top-up depending on what you want to use. Direct top-up will directly pop up on your account. It's a little bit more expensive than lock-in top-up though, which I can also recommend. I tried out both of those methods. They lock into your account here, buy this stuff for you. Very, very nice website to buy your Dragon Crystals a little bit cheaper, get a bit of a discount on those packs and progress your account. And if you go through the link in the description, you will actually get a 3% discount coupon. I think they still have the promotion going where they give you 10% discount coupon on top. Otherwise, you will get an 8% discount coupon. And also, and I didn't even mention this last time, there will also be codes down in a pinned comment, which on yesterday's video, apparently those codes are still available under yesterday's video. There are some codes that I got from the AFK Journey Creator Tournament that I won together with Puzzle. A huge shout out to Puzzle, by the way. That was a very nice fight that we had there against Turtlelegs and Zebo too. Both they are also great creators. Watched Turtleleg's live stream actually yesterday, kind of cool. And we got some very nice codes there, and I will put some of those down in the description. You can pick one of them, put them into your game, and maybe if they weren't used before, you will get some gems and a little bit of gold. So that is something. And with that, I wish you a great day. Let me know whether I shall do a video for the next area as well, and we'll see us in the next one.